We usually don't use bottled water to make coffee, but here in Malta, when we go to the every time we go to the supermarket and we buy stuff, they always give us a free case of this bottled water. So why not make coffee with it, right? Good morning, I'm Tim, and this is SV Paquita. I'm speaking a little quietly because it's very early in the morning. I can hear that the bird is up and terrorizing Chrysalida, but Bob is still probably sleeping. I'm gonna make coffee, and you guys had expressed an interest in finding out how we do our weather and route planning for these little trips. So I've got the end of this coffee here. That's gonna work well. Do this, and we're off to the races. You might be able to see that Bob and I got haircuts yesterday from Chrysalida. We're getting ready. Had a great night's sleep, which is something that I haven't had for a while. I have this issue with my back, but my back was great last night. So I'm all excited. Probably because the stress is gone, because Paquita got checked out by Nikki, and she's great. So I'm feeling so excited about that. But let's come over here, and if I set this up right, hopefully I can do this. Let's see. Turn this on over here. And okay, so here's predict wind. So the first, now things have changed, and let me kind of walk you through our process. I've said that haven't had a lot of luck with predict wind or windy or anything else predicting weather in the med. So this right here is kind of, we're showing you an evolution of what happened. We need to get, if you look right here, okay, so here's the Straits of Gibraltar, the Madeira and all that, but through here, we need to get to here by before Christmas. I want to get down here to the Canaries by Christmas, and it's getting colder all the time, and the wind is getting nastier this way, so we have to beat our way that way. But every once in a while we get these winds that come out of the north that might help us go that way. So that's our plan. So what we'd really like to do, and if you remember, we came in through here, we went up through here and up here and around here and around here and all the way down here, around there, over to Greece, and we didn't make it to Turkey, but we came back and we've been in Malta ever since. But right here I put into predict wind. I said, look, I want to go from Malta to the bottom of Sardinia. And not only will it figure it out, but it will look at different models and say what we can expect weather-wise. So we start doing a little download here. And I think everybody knows this, but just in case you don't know this, we on Paquita have Starlink. And we don't buy the offshore package, so that as long as we're within 12 nautical miles of shore, we have basically uninterrupted high-speed internet, and we love it, and it's wonderful. When we are 12 miles off, if we need to, we can toggle the offshore data on and off, but hopefully that won't be an issue. Our plan is to sail. So okay, so here we are. So each one of these lines represent a different model. You know, the European model, the GFS model, the different aggregates, all this different stuff. But they're basically saying to come up around here like this. This is going to work well for me, because if we have a problem here, when we'll lose internet in this area here. When we pick it up here again, we'll be able to see, you know, the closer you get to as the future becomes more present, the weather accuracy of the forecast would become much better. So if we do this, we come down to this little corner down here. I think you can see it, yeah. And this will tell you which of these are all the different models you can use. So this PWE is the predict wind aggregate for the European models. So if we do this and we press play, it'll show that we come up here like this, and basically we don't have any wind. So let me stop. I think that you guys know all this. Let me bring this back. But see these colors right here? They coincide with these color bars on here, right here. So this is saying like blue is 5 knots, green is 10, and so forth and so on. When we get up to the reds, we're getting orange is 20, reds 25, and then it gets darker red, 30, 35, and then it keeps getting worse and worse. And then the little arrows will show you the directions. And then this is the time. So assuming that we leave at 8 o'clock this morning, which will be like in an hour and a half from now, we would come up here like this and basically have wind basically against us, but it's so little wind we can sail with it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We'll be motoring up here like this. So that's a long time of motor. Remember, Mediterranean's motor every day, but right about here we start getting the wind. And as you can see, it starts getting green. That's where we like it, right around 15 knots, and mostly from behind us, which is also good. All that looks good. And then when we get here, see this little triangle? If we click that, that says it's a warning for vertical acceleration, which is not good. We don't like that at all. So as we come here, we start seeing this trough coming over this way from here. So through here, this is a nice broad reach. Then we get here and we start getting these headwinds. And if you look, we still have a long ways to go. So not only do we have headwinds, then we don't have any wind, then we actually have a beam reach. That's not the worst thing there. Yesterday that looked really bad. But remember, as the time goes by, it gets better, it gets more and more accurate. So that's interesting. So now let's go bring it back, and then we bring it over to the European model. Downloads all the particulars there. Oops. Now, we're seeing more of the same, which this shouldn't be that much different because the other one we watched was an aggregate of different European models. Now this, from here, from Sicily on, we got a good sail. This looks pretty good right here. And now the wind's picking up, but it's where we want it, on a reach right like that. So we like that. But wait a minute, now that, we don't like that at all. That's 20 knots of wind, almost 25 at points, right on our nose. We don't like that at all. And it looks like it's the whole way here. All right, so let's go one more. Now, usually GFS is like the American model, and I usually don't like this one. I thought that it wasn't good, but PredictWind has this thing that you can, they see this validation here. It'll show you who's been more accurate, and this one's been really accurate lately in the validation model. So right here it says what everyone else says: no wind until about tomorrow morning. Then we pick up a nice wind behind us. Everything's looking good. Getting a little windier. And look, there's that big boom. Nope, that's not. 2 out of 3 says it's going to be nasty. So we are not going to Sardinia, or we're not leaving here and headed for Sardinia. We're headed that way, but since all of them take us up to Sicily, my plan is to leave here, get to Sicily, get a new weather forecast. If it looks good, we'll go. If it doesn't, we'll go in there. Does that make sense? So that's how we do that. Now there's something else. I think I've shown you this before, but once you get done with that, I hope I have it on this laptop. I've changed laptops recently because I had an issue. Yes, I have it here, Navily. Okay, so since we are going to be going to okay, this is Navily, and this tells you this is where we are right here. You can see a little 74 euros a night, and we're right there. I put a little heart on it. You can see a little blue dot. That's where we are right here. And this is Valletta over here, Salima over here, coming out of the harbor, and our plan is to sail up here and go across. And then you can see this is just satellite stuff here. Oops. There we go. And head all the way over here. So if we come over to this way, I want to get as far this way as I can, but we can look over here and, like, for example, see this would get that way, and if we have wind coming this way, it'll tell us about it. So we click over here and we can click this and it'll show you some pictures. and these are user pictures. You know, people that have been here have put these pictures up. But what I like is it shows you for the time today. It's really nice. 89%, 100% is, you know, I've never seen 100, but I mean, this is showing the wind and the swell. And it says it's protected from the northwest to the northeast. So if we were to get there tomorrow afternoon, you can see it starts to fade. It doesn't start to get bad until about, oh goodness, look at that. It does get bad. You can see it's down to 18. So in other words, now I say, why is it getting bad? Well, look over there. We're going to see south wind and southwest swell, or vice versa. Oh no, that's right. Southeast wind and southerly swell. So now that means that when we go to look for a place to go hide, we need to hide from wind and seas coming this way by the time we get there. So if we look over here, this will be in a little bit. Let's see about here. We click this one. Maybe this one will be a little bit better. Shows a little stuff here. Here's today, tomorrow. Okay, it's much better, but still not great, and it deteriorates as well. So then what we'll do is we can keep looking up here. Now we come around the corner. If it's coming this way, maybe we'll get some lee over this way, because obviously north is up on top. So we click here, and then we can go and look. Now it's not good right now. Well, it's been bad. It's gotten better. It's going to get worse. This is all by 9 p.m. tomorrow morning. 3 a.m., 6 a.m. Okay, this isn't that great either, and it's not going to. But over here they say that the wind is going to be coming out of the west. So as you can see, we have to keep looking for someplace, because I think wherever we go, we have to kind of hunker down for a little while. So if the wind is going to be coming from the south and the west, we could come all the way to because we have a little bit of time. Remember when we were going to Sardinia, we could get halfway to Sardinia before it started getting nasty. So if we came up here and came on this little island is just off the part of Sicily. See, this is all Sicily here. So if we came right over here, these little things are other people that have other boats that have the same program. So I can call, you know, send them a message, say, hey, what's it like over there? But anyway, let's just say that we came in here. So I click this, and look, it'll show you pictures. Obviously it's a city, but you can see that there's an aerial shot of people anchored there, and we're really just looking. Now right now it's not good at all right now, but it's going to get better and better and better. Look at that. It's good the whole time. So all the way until Saturday, it's looking really nice there, and you can see it's protected all the way around like that. So I think that's where we're going to go. So the next thing that I would do is say, well, what's it going to look like? Well, look at that. They have the water looks beautiful. Town. If we're going to be stuck there, oh, it looks like there's some stuff for us to see. And if that's not enough, you can also go down here, and this is something that I do quite often. It'll tell you there are bars and restaurants and marine stores and shops. It'll tell you a little bit about it, but it gives you all these different people's ratings. So this is August of 25. This is a guy in a 41-foot monohull, and he rates it, and you can read about it and that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's how we're put it together, and I think that's how we're going to go. So now what I do, well, you know what, I can still show you this too. So now I have a plan. I know where I want to go. We're going to go up to this harbor up here in this island. So we got to come up and around like that and hide that way. So if I go back to predict wind, and there's a million different things you can do with predict wind. You can have over the horizon AIS. You can, you guys, if you're not following us on the real-time tracker, I can send you this link, and you'll see everywhere we've gone and where we're going. So we're not going to go here anymore. So I bring this over to this little island over here. And then I'd probably put a little, put something in here like that. That should give us a little dot. There we go. So that we don't run over the coast. There we go. All right, now let's take a look at this. It's going to start downloading, and now I've only shown you the graphical interface. I haven't shown you the tables. So once again, let's go over to our GFS, because that's the one that, like I say, we normally don't use, but lately it's been the most accurate through the validation software. So let's take a look at what it says. Okay, so first of all, there aren't any hazards along the way. Just quickly, we look, we're going to have a little bit of wind here, then we lose the wind, a lot of motoring here, motor. Now we got some good wind, and we can sail all the way there. We can go wee all the way home. All right, and we can look at the other models too, but for the purposes of speeding up the video, let me show you this. We hit tables. Oop, there we go. So you could see all kinds of things. On this trip, it'll show you, here's our true wind speed. So we shouldn't see anything. I really should have my glasses on. What did I do with my glasses? So all I do is look for stuff that I've lost. I get my, oh, here they are. Okay. Yeah, so we shouldn't see more than 16 knots of wind. And remember, every one of these lines is a different model. When they're all lined up like that, they're all pretty much agreeing. So, but basically on November 5th, which is today, around 8 o'clock tonight, we're not going to have hardly any wind at all, about 2 knots. But anyway, this right here is the wind direction, and there's only one model that says it's different than everyone else. Everyone else says about the same. You can see the true wind angle. You can see how much rain. If we're going to get any rain at all, it'll be right now. Cape is how much energy is in the atmosphere, and the rule of thumb that we live by is anything above 1500. We have a risk of lightning, but as you can see, we're not even up to 50, so I don't think we're going to see any lightning. Temperatures, this is in Celsius, but you can see that it'll be warm, and then it continues to drop off and get cold, but it will get warm when we get to Sardinia again. So it should be about the same temperature when we get there. Our pressure, you can see the pressure dropping off as that trough is getting closer to us. Wave height, remember these are in meters, so it's going to start off at about 3 foot, almost a meter, and then drop off once again by about midnight. It should be pretty much flat calm, and then we get there and it'll just be a foot or two, so not too bad there. Wave direction, wave period, and period's a big thing. I've talked about that on the tugboat channel, that you can be in the Pacific towing a barge in 20 or 30 foot seas, and if the period is 2.5 minutes, you won't even notice it, because you just be going up and then going down. But if you get a 4 foot sea that has a 4-second period, you get beat to death. But anyway, it starts off at 6 seconds, which is 8 seconds would be nicer, but it starts dropping off. And the reason why it's dropping off down to 2.5 seconds is because the waves are getting smaller, so the amplitude, so I don't see that as an issue. What I really see here is that everyone is in agreement of that. Current speeds, so we can see almost half a knot current at times, and it'll show, you can find out where you'll be when you see that. Current direction, which direction the current will be. Like I say, this is an amazing program, so it really gives you a lot. This will tell you a roll. So how many degrees of roll? When we start off, we might have 2 degrees of roll back and forth, and then when it goes flat calm like that, we have hardly any roll at all, and then a little bit over here, hardly anything. Then vertical acceleration. So if we can see that at all, that's going to be about noon today, and then it's just going to get better and better and better for us. And then we can also go here to summary. And what's kind of cool about this is this will put everything in perspective. These are all the different models, and remember, we're really paying attention to these 3 right here. So we can even move this over. There we go. Okay. So if we do that, we don't get to see this, do we? Okay. So if we go, it says start time at 8 o'clock today, and finish time. They're all saying that we should be there by 1700, 5 or 6 tomorrow night we should be there. We should have to motor between, this one says 12 hours, 19 hours, 15 hours, 15 hours. And so we might have 15 hours of motoring. Distance travel will all be about the same depending on which thing, but it would be about 167, 169, 170 miles, something like that. Average speed 5 knots right across the board. Passage time 1 day 9 hours, 1 day 10 hours, yada yada yada. Maximum wind speeds we're saying 14, minimum 3 knots. Average parent, all you can see all this. And Cape is all way below 1500. Lightning should not be an issue. Percentage of the time upwind. And this is the only one that says that we might see 40% of the time upwind, but the rest of it says we're not going to see anything upwind. It says 26% of the time we'll be reaching, 74% of the time we'll be downwind, and this is time less than 8 knots of wind, 74%. Time with 8 knots to 20 knots of wind, about 66% of the time. And, oh, excuse me, I did that wrong. 66% of the time will have less than 8 knots, and 34% of the time will have between 8 and 20 knots. And so that kind of tells you all that kind of cool stuff. So that's about how we do it. Check all that stuff out. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I love your comments. You guys keep us rolling through all this stuff. Really, 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 like every time you guys comment, we like it. And it's kind of cool is that it's something that I really enjoy reading. And I've been talking with Bob. Apparently he's going through and reading the comments too. So he likes them too. So, and everyone that writes anything to Crystalita, I usually tell her. But if you don't speak Spanish, you can tell me and I'll tell her. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you for, if you haven't subscribed, please do, for no other reason than I have a very fragile ego and it makes me feel really good when the numbers go up. Right now, you guys, those of you that are watching are becoming more dedicated, but we're losing numbers. So I don't know, I say we're losing numbers, but I think we're down like 20 subscribers. So I haven't done anything flashy yet. So anyway, if there's something else you guys want to see, I know that you guys said that you want to see more cooking stuff, which I still can't believe that you want to see that, but and if you want to see more navigational stuff or decision making stuff like that, let me know. Bob has been doing all kinds of work, and like I say, I really don't want this to be a DIY channel just because I'm not that guy, and the people that do that, like Sail Life, they're so good at doing these DIY videos that man's got to live within his limitations, and I don't think that's me. But if you would like me to videotape some of the work that Bob has been doing, Bob just was a workaholic. He just works every damn day. He's doing something, and I've got a list. And it sounds kind of weird. Paquita's a great boat, and but any of you that have had a boat, and especially you have a boat that you're living on, and you know, all the systems, you know, like some people will say, oh, I've had batteries in my boat for this long, and I've done this. Yeah, because you went sailing on Thursday night 13 times last year. That's all you did. Our batteries get cycled at least once every day, and usually almost twice every day. And so we're making water almost every other day. You know, our hot water heater's running all the time. The navigation. So what happens is something breaks every day, and you have to triage, you know, is this a mission critical thing? Is this a safety issue? Or is this a luxury thing? Is this something we can wait until we have time and we can do that? So over, you know, since we left the U.S. in May, little things have broken. I've bought little things I've never installed. Little things like, for example, our refrigerator continues to get iced up a lot, and I noticed that the gasket that goes around the door for the refrigerator, I think is 25 years old or 22 years old or whatever, and so we've got new gaskets, so we got to put that on. Little things like that. They're not going to keep us from going, but it sure makes things better. So I've got a whole bunch of things, and every day Bob checks off 2 or 3 projects on this list that's a mile long. That's something that you guys want to see. I could try to start filming more. I could try to be better of that if that's what you want to see, but hopefully you don't want to see that, because like I say, it's really hard to film, and I can't stand, I don't know if you're with me on this or not, but I think that one of the beauties about watching stuff on YouTube is that most of it is real. It's how it's happening. It's not actors, and they're not doing stuff. Then you see some of these YouTube channels, and they're beautiful, but every time you see a YouTube channel and they go hiking up a mountain, and you see them hiking up the mountain, they have gone up there, put the camera, gone back, and then walked by, and then gone back to the camera, picked up the camera, and brought it again. And not only am I too lazy to do that, but I also think it's disingenuous. It's not real. They're acting for you, and I think this is a platform that it should be completely honest in how it is. I don't know that Sail Life does that, just because he is such, Mads is such an amazing guy that thinks about everything and he probably has his whole day all scheduled. I'm going to film this, then I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to set up the camera before I do this. Man, I'm not there. But if that is something that you guys want to, if I get enough people that want to do it, I'll give it a shot, especially since I can follow Bob around. But man, when I get into a project, I want to get the project done and done right. I don't want to think about getting a camera. So hopefully that's not something you guys want to see. All right. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for those that have bought us around by hitting that super thanks button. Really appreciate it. We really love it. Obviously, I am not a wealthy person. I shouldn't have retired when I did. I should work longer, but I figured if I want to do this trip, consequent trips heading to the South Pacific and all that, I don't want to do it when I'm very old. And I also have worked with a bunch of people that have worked and done great work all their lives, and then they retire, and then they're too old or too tired, or they die or have a health issue. So I've retired earlier than I should have. I also have, well, that's, you guys don't care about that, but anyway, what I'm saying is that I'm basically a pauper. I don't have a lot of money or anything like that. So when you guys hit that super thanks button and you buy us a round of drinks, whether it's $2 or $20 or whatever, it does a couple things. I talk to my patrons, and when somebody signs up on Patreon, which, by the way, special shout out to the patrons. I'll put a link in the description. But I tell the patrons when they sign up that their patronage is more than just funding the channel. It's actual tangible proof that you guys appreciate the efforts I put in. Now, I should really say we, the three of us, put in to getting this content to you. It's one thing if you have a bunch of people that you're on some subscription list but they don't watch. It's another thing when people just watch because it's free. But when somebody is willing to put $2 down or whatever, and for a lot of you guys actually comment. And just taking the time to comment really helps something called engagement points for us. Just the act of commenting. Even if you tell me I suck, that's fine. YouTube doesn't know the difference. If you say I suck or I'm great, it still helps the engagement points. But all of that is a tangible proof that I know that your time is valuable just as mine is. And so by you guys doing that, it really kind of lets me know. And any of you that hit that super thanks button or join Patreon, you're really saying, you know what, I can watch this, but for the price of a cup of coffee, I can let you know that this is something that really is providing me with value. And that's kind of cool. So anyway, enough of this. I feel like, it's funny. My mom was, my dad was a very private person, but my mom was not. My dad was German. My mother was Latin. So there you go. But my mother not only had a radio show for 18 years, but she also had a television show for a while. And she used to do a lot of work with public radio in Maine, and on Maine public broadcasting. She used to do the fundraising, where public television, they say, hey, you guys, we need to raise this money for you and stuff like that. Anyway, I think I'm I'm channeling her energy here, saying that looking for some tangible proof that you guys enjoyed or find value in the content that you're watching. Anyway, just a memory of my mom. You guys take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one.